This is the Fujifilm X30, a 10 years old camera that has one genius feature and costs more than when it was new. So why did Fujifilm abandon it, and is it still good enough? The X30 came out in 2014. It continued the design language of the previous generations, and although the X10 and X20 came with some questionable design choices, the X30 has got it all and got it right. Electronic viewfinder, built-in pop-up flash, tilting LCD, internal memory, built-in manual zoom lens with optical image stabilization and function ring, Wi-Fi connectivity with remote control, JPEG film simulations including classic Chrome, and full HD video recording with external microphone input. All this in a compact rangefinder style body with a small but functional grip. It's incredible how much Fujifilm managed to pack in this beautiful compact camera, and yet it was the last of its kind. But why? To understand the reasons, we first need to look at the market situation Fujifilm faced back in 2014. The competition was fierce. Canon PowerShot, Nikon Coolpix and Sony RX100 series of cameras divided the market, and smartphone photography was getting better every couple of months. So it was no coincidence that Fujifilm packed so much in this little camera. They had no other choice. But they've done it in their own way, and chose to give us something else, a compact camera for photography enthusiasts. I'm not going to repeat all the features the X30 has, but I have to highlight one genius design choice: the manual zoom lens mechanism. I've shot my share of photos with a Canon PowerShot and other compact cameras, and I have nothing bad to say about them. But what always bothered me was the power zoom control with a small toggle switch on top of the camera. This made it almost impossible to zoom exactly the way I want it at the moment. I wondered why nobody thought of a better, more ergonomic solution, like putting a ring around the lens that would control power zoom, or getting rid of the power zoom and making it manual. And then Fujifilm read my mind and did just that. And they made it even better by combining the zoom function with power button. To turn the camera on, you zoom out a little bit. To turn it off, you zoom all the way back. Want to browse through photographs? No need to zoom out. Hold the play button for a few seconds and then press it again when you're done. Simple, effective and intuitive. Genius system in the true meaning of the word. Fujifilm had done it. They made a compact camera for people who care about their photography experience. So what went wrong? For starters, photography enthusiasts didn't buy enough of them. But it wasn't the main problem, and neither was the compact camera competition. The main issue lied under the hood. Fujifilm made a lot of good upgrades on the outside of the camera. The internals were the same as in the X20 and not that much different from the first generation X10. To make this camera small, but with a 28 to 112mm retractable zoom lens, Fujifilm had to use a 2/3 of an inch sized sensor, and they had to stick with it to avoid major redesign of the whole camera. I will debate in a moment if the X30 image quality was and still is good enough, but it definitely wasn't the reason for abandoning the whole concept. As all other compact cameras, also the X30 thought hard with the smartphone revolution. Another pressure was coming from the race for bigger sensors with more megapixels. We all bought new iPhones and we all fell for the bigger is better marketing when buying a new camera. On top of that, Fujifilm had an already successful range of cameras called X100. These cameras used a much larger APS-C sensor and were selling at higher margins. So why keep alive a compact camera that nobody wants? The decision to cancel the X30 was obvious and justified, and not much has changed since. Today, smartphones can produce amazing photographs and most new cameras are full frame. So why is the X30 now more expensive than when it was new? History doesn't repeat itself, it's the people who walk in circles. We got tired of saturating social media with millions of smartphone snaps, and we also got tired of lugging around big cameras with big ass lenses. and so many are now turning back to the quality, convenience that only a good compact camera can offer. Is the reason why Fujifilm X106 and Ricoh GR3X are out of stock, and why the used compact camera market has seen inflated prices. And it's also the reason why a 10 years old used Fujifilm X30 costs more than when it was new. But is it only a fashion or the effect of limited availability of better cameras? Is the X30 still good enough today with its tiny sensor and limited usable ISO range? To answer that question, I took my X30 on one of my short trips, because convenient travel photography is where compact cameras excel. And I enjoyed using the camera. Handling is better than I expected, the front grip works very well, LCD can tilt enough for comfortable low and high angle shots. Viewfinder is very usable despite its slightly unusual position. The big function ring is a real treat. It can change aperture or shutter speed and serve as a manual focus ring as well. But the 28mm to 112 f2 to f2.8 zoom lens is the main reason this camera is so much fun. The zoom mechanism is smooth and as accurate as you want it to be. The only limitation is your own hands. I have to say it again, to have manual zoom on a compact camera was a genius decision. Combine it with the largest aperture of f2.8 at the reach of 112mm and you get a great travel companion. All images you have seen in this video came out of the Fujifilm X30. I shot in RAW and the files are so small that working with them is fast and easy on any hardware. It also doesn't take much to produce a nice looking images. If you are a die-hard JPEG shooter, then you will be happy with the classic chrome and monochrome profiles. The camera tends to over-polish the JPEGs, so I would reduce noise reduction as much as possible. We can always deal with any excessive noise in post-processing, and for that reason it's also best to keep ISO limited to 800. That is enough for most daylight situations. The small and old sensor will show its limitations in lower light. Opening aperture and switching to monochrome helps to deal with noise at higher ISO. The lens is bright across the whole zoom range, so open it up and it will be fine. There is not another camera like the Fujifilm X30, and it's quite possible that it never will be. The prime days of compact cameras are long gone. Fujifilm are working hard to keep their cameras relevant and don't have time to fiddle around. But wouldn't it be amazing to see a modern version with a 1-inch sensor? It will make for a great alternative to the Sony RX100. And even better, imagine if Fujifilm released an APS-C version of the X30 based on the body of X106, with IBIS and all the modern tech inside. They could even ditch the optical viewfinder and make it EVF only. That is the camera I would pre-order in a heartbeat. But if you want to stay modern and have a lot of patience, look at the most popular camera Fujifilm makes today. It may not be as versatile as the X30, but packs a bunch of features that will help you make fantastic images with ease.